I know you are already familiar with the OR function in MS Excel, especially within the if statement. But did you know there are other ways to solve your same problem without using OR function? In today's video, I'll show you two alternative methods. First, we'll explore how to do it in MS Excel using plus operator. Then how to solve it with an array approach. So let's get started with Excel first. After that, I will show you how to handle it in Power Query. Here is the case. If the CL status of a client is either standard or SMA, the result will show UC, otherwise the result will be NPL. For example, the CL status of client A is SS, so the result will show NPL. For the client B and C, the result will be UC because the CL status is standard and SMA. First, I will use the OR function to solve the problem. Or first logical test is CL status will be standard, comma. Second logical test is CL status is equal to SMA. I'll close the bracket. Now you can see the OR function returns false. If I just drag down the formula, I will get true if the CL status is standard or SMA. Now I will write the if function. If the first argument is logical test, which is actually asking for true or false. So I have already true or false by using the OR function, comma, value if true. If the logical test returns true, the result will be UC. Otherwise, the result will be NPL. I'll close the bracket and press enter. I'll drag down the formula. Now you can see second and third result is UC because CL status is standard and SMA. Now I will use the first method. Here I will use plus operator to solve the problem. First logical test is the CL status is equal to standard. Now I will close the bracket and use plus operator. Second logical test is SMA. I'll close the bracket and press enter. Now I have 0 because the CL status is SS. If I drag down the formula, I will get 1 if the CL status is either standard or SMA. Now I will use the if function. The first argument is logical test, actually which is asking for true or false. And we know true is 1 and false is 0. So I have already 1 or 0 by using the plus operator. Now I will write the result. First result will be UC and the second result will be NPL. I'll close the bracket and press enter. Now you can see I have NPL because the status is SS. If I drag down the formula, I will get UC if the CL status is either standard or SMA. Now I will show the second method where I will use the array formula. The logical test is equal to standard or SMA. Now I will write them in the curly bracket. So the first value is standard and the second value is SMA. If I close the curly bracket and press enter, you can see I have false or false because the value is SS. As I am using the Excel 365, so the formula will automatically spill over. So if I drag down the formula, I will get true if the value is standard or SMA. Here you can see I have value true and here I have value true because the value is SMA. Now I will transform true or false into number. I will enclose the formula within round bracket. There are many options to transform true or false into number. Here I will just multiply the formula with 1. If I just press enter, now you can see true false have been converted into number. So I will have 0 if the status is other than standard or SMA, and I will have 1 if the value is standard or SMA. So I will use sum function here to sum them. I'll close the bracket. Now I will have 0 or 1. So I will use if function to show my result. The result will be UC or result will be NPL. I will press enter and drag down the formula. Now you can see the result is okay. Now I will show you how to solve the problem with Power Query. First, I will load this data into Power Query. So I'll go to Data tab and I will click on From Table or Range. It will trigger the Power Query editor. First, I will use the OR function here. So I'll go to Add Column. and click on custom column. So the syntax will be almost similar that I have used in Excel. If the CL status is equal to standard or CL status is equal to SMA, then the result will be UC, else result will be NPL. If I click on OK, now you can see I have NPL for all the clients. As Power Query is case sensitive, so I have to write the value with appropriate case. You can see the S of standard is capital letter. So I have to write the S in capital letter, and all the letters of SMA are capital letters. So I have to write them in capital letter. If I press enter, now you can see I have my expected result. Now I will show you the first method in Power Query by using the plus operator. So again, I will go to add column and click on custom column. So first logical test is the CL status is equal to standard plus the CL status is equal to SMA. I'll enclose the formula within round bracket. If I click on OK, now you can see I have got error. If I click on the blank space, so you can see the reason we cannot apply operator plus to type logical test and logical. So I have to convert them into number. So I will use number dot from function. Here I will use the number dot from function. Now I click on OK. Now you can see I have 0 or 1. So I will use the if function. If this logical test returns 1, then result will be UC, else result will be NPL. If I click on OK, now you can see the result is OK now. Now I will show you the second method where I will use the array approach. So I will go to add column and click on custom column. Here I will use the list.contains function. List.contains. The first argument is list as a list. So I will write the value standard, comma, and SMA. I will close the curly bracket, comma, and the second argument is value as any. So I will click on the CL status. If I close the bracket and hit OK, now you can see I have false or true. Now I will use the if function. If list.contains returns true, then result will be UC, else result will be NPL. So I'll click on OK. Now you can see I have my expected result. I hope you like this video. If you know any better alternatives to OR function, you can share. See you in the next video. Thank you.